Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Nielsen, and this is How You Level Up, a podcast where I ask questions to help you become your best self. Today we ask, what are the facets of your relationship? Gemology is the study of precious gems. Like emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and diamonds, a facet is a polished side of one of these precious stones. There are many facets to a stone, and each one sparkles in their own way. People, like a precious stone, have facets to their personality. One side is playful and fun. One side is serious and professional. One side is intellectual. One side is weird, and so on. The different facets and combinations of those sides make people sparkle. They make them unique. So in thinking about your relationship with your significant other, which side of your significant other did you fall in love with first? And you don't have to play coy. There was a side of them you fell for before the others. There was a special sparkle you couldn't resist. So, which side was it? The facet of my fiancée I fell in love with first was the passion and curiosity behind her eyes. She is relentless in her exploration, whether internal or external. If you're speaking to her about your job, about your passion, she'll ask you so many questions, it will feel like you're in a job interview. If you're speaking to her about a personal problem, she'll probe the issue down to the nitty-gritty details. She wants to know everything. So here's a story that reminded me of why the facets of a relationship matter and why we need to pay attention to each side with their due time. The summer before the pandemic, she injured herself and requested help to move around. She needed someone to cook for her, clean for her, and help her get dressed. There was an instance where we were on the couch and she said to me, "I missed you." She said this even though I had been with her for more than 10 days. To her, saying, "I missed you," felt totally normal, and it felt natural for me to hear. But why? Well, she said this because in that moment on the couch, having sex, I had not paid this facet of her much attention. I had spent the last 10 days thinking about her safety, keeping her entertained, helping her forget about being in pain, nurturing her back to health. So yes, it felt normal to hear her say, "I missed you," even though we had spent the previous evening chatting. It felt normal to hear her say that even though we slept in the same bed night after night. It felt normal even though we had woken up and ate breakfast together. When she said, "I missed you," she was also speaking to a facet of mine. Hearing "I missed you" felt totally normal because I hadn't been passionate with her in the previous days. I was focused on work, on being a caretaker for her, on thinking about logistical needs for upcoming trips to Boston, and my focus was taken away from a side of her, and she felt neglected. "I missed you" was a cry of joy from one side of her. She didn't know how else to articulate it in the moment, and she didn't need to, because I completely understood. If you're in a relationship and you've been focusing on things and activities other than your significant other, that's okay. You don't need to beat yourself up over it. You're the person best suited to be working on the things that benefit your life. Working on your life is necessary for you to be in a healthy relationship with someone else. You're sharing your life with a person, not making your life about them. And so when you're all set, begin to focus on your significant other, because while you do have a life outside of them, you also have a life with them. If they love you, then they love all of you, all of your facets, because you can sparkle in a variety of ways. It helped me to remember about myself when she said I missed you. It was a reminder that I had forgotten a side of myself, a side that focused on her deeply and lovingly. And while I want to protect my ego and say I was paying attention to her, I took a moment to acknowledge that she was right, and I missed her in this way too. So what facets of you do you think your significant other fell in love with first? How often are you exposing this facet of yourself to them? What opportunities can you use to create sparks and remind them of why you're together? Relationships require attention. They require time, and the benefits and joy they bring are boundless. Remembering this is so important to keep a relationship healthy, like watering a plant to keep its leaves plump and lush. Take a moment today to water your relationship, and maybe even ask, what facet of me do you love? What part of me do I need to pay more attention to? What part of you could I pay more attention to? Take care of your relationship. It's not for me, it's for you. Thank you for listening to another episode. If you're enjoying the show, open up the app you're listening to this on and hit the like or subscribe button and give a 5-star rating. At least twice a week, you'll find a new episode asking you a new question, so you can strengthen your emotional independence, improve your communication skills, and upgrade your personal philosophy. So if there's a question you'd like me to dive into next, send it to any of these social media accounts connected in the show notes here. This is all about how you level up.